Welcome to Shays Spiritual Insights, and they're rarely seen, almost like Sasquatch-like, is Debra. You know, the myth. She's a mythological creature. There's been sightings, but no proof. Well, here she is. So, anyway, before we begin, I wanted to talk a little bit about the same thing we've been talking about, but the incoming energies, and which is really nice. We have some spring energies coming in, wonderful energies on the earth. And we're also having a lot of, as the new energy connections are made for the soul growth, I was just noticing this afternoon, they're part of a spectrum, but I see them as these threads because you get all these different threads of different colored energies. And we have some new higher energies, a number of threads of them coming in that I don't think have been coming in before. That we're now at a point where we can have them come in. Some of the old stuff is gone. These are coming in. The old connections are cleared, not only for the soul group, but for us. I'm seeing a beautiful green, some blues and other colors I don't know how to describe because as you all know, I'm colorblind, so I don't know what to call them. But anyway, these are wonderful energies, and that's an indication of the onward movement that we're doing, not only as a planet, but individually, and especially all of you as light workers. So I wanted to keep it short, and without further ado, we can begin. And again, Debra, do you have anything to say? Anything to share?
No, not right now.
Okay. I'm putting her on the spot
Yeah,
there.
put me on the spot. Thanks a lot. See if I ever come back.
All right. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. Does anybody have anything to share or their thoughts, questions, anything? And I'm going to start with Nicole. So Nicole, haven't seen you in quite a while either. So
Yeah.
what's
Well, we
happening?
just talked recently,
Oh,
but
I mean, part of the,
yeah.
yeah.
No, things are looking up. I thanks to our conversation the other day, the other higher guide that had joined us, that's kind of gotten weird.
Hmm.
Um, all of a sudden radio silence. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Excuse me. Well, that sometimes happens. When you initially get to become aware of a guide, you're going to connect with them. And they, as I mentioned during our conversation, there's a bunch of energies that queued up. I call them, downloads
Hmm.
for you. Once they get the things that they wanted to get in place, they stand back a lot of times and wait for things to unfold. And they're there for you. They're not like left you, but it's going to be, they'll jump in and you'll see that guide again and probably one or two others as time goes on, when the
Okay.
time is right.
Well, the lower being kind of went radio silent too. But anyway, it was a perfect thing though because it kind of catapulted me into. I was kind of stuck on my third novel,
Mhm.
and be, meeting this individual and his guide helped me to get unstuck.
Good.
It's I actually sat down and wrote down my whole outline for my third novel so I can start writing it.
Wow.
Just about finished editing book two, so that will by middle of April be published.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. And other than that, just enjoying the beautiful spring in Oregon. It's starting to get nice and the weather's getting pretty, and we're in the 50s and 60s and more rain than we actually had. Almost Montana like snow here. We had snow on the ground for 3 days, and in the winter that's a little bit unusual.
And that's Oregon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For everybody else who may not have known. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Southern Oregon, Southwest Oregon.
Yeah. Wow. So is there anything else? Anything more?
Not
Anything?
at the moment.
Okay.
I think we had yeah, just trying to get back into the groove again.
Well, and it looks like you're doing it. So that's a good thing. All right. I'm going to move on. And of course, we're going to come back again. So don't feel like there won't be another chance. Paula, who now has a microphone that is absolutely working great. How are you? Anything to share and any questions? Anything at all?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Nicole. That's awesome that you got your
Yes,
dress. That's amazing. I would just say that the beginning of this week was some really dense energy.
that's true.
It was so dense. My body hurt everywhere. I talked to Pat one evening and I used a couple naughty words and I just said, this is crazy. Why are we hurting so much?
Hmm.
And yet then it's like it cleared out because it's lifted somewhat and I can even feel the density is lifted. So I don't know if I was receiving a download or if I just was going through a poor me couple days.
Well, you have been getting some downloads, but that's some of that's kind of an ongoing stream of things that come in for you, and you've had a couple like actual downloads, but um, part and parcel of what you're doing. I got some information on you. I don't know what it's kind of blurry. Yesterday is so last year. I don't know how it is for you with time. And sometimes it's like that. But whenever it came in, what I got was, and we've talked about this over the years. We've all had these heavier past lives, and you as well. And you have all this stuff, and it's time now, and it's been time. As we're ready for it, the next batch can be brought into the light, or you can look at it as the ballast coming off a balloon. However you see it, it's been coming up. Some of it processing through your energetic um, field, you can say, and it's with women especially more so than men, but it does happen with men as well. It processes into the body. But the other aspect is that also these energies deal with, in the past, your environments, the home you lived, the environment, the city, the town, the culture. And this also connects with, how do I say it, and we all have the things we like and don't like about our environment in a home, with the less desirable aspects of your environment at home, whatever that is for you, it resonates with that. And that was particularly intense for you. And it's passing. You're going to get a few more waves of that coming through. But that's what that's about in manifesting and letting go of there were some of the energies that were associated with those lives and the physical conditions that it caused coming through and causing similar ones now. But anyway, you're in the process of releasing them. So that's what that's about, at least in part. There's some other pieces, but that was this last wave of it.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That really put everything in a very domino order for me to see that. So I appreciate knowing that. Thank you so much. It cleared it up nicely.
You're welcome. Is there anything else? And does anyone else have anything to share on that? As always, anybody has anything that's come to you, please feel free to share.
I just wanted to say, Paula, I think it's similar to what Jeff is saying, but I was just seeing just this density coming off stuff that you're needing to release, and that's what a lot of that pain is. It's this heaviness coming up and then it's being released out of the body. So
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And at least knowing and having that information allows me to look at it with more gratitude. Then I'm grateful for that pain because it's allowing that releasing. So thank you both. That's really great information. And other than that, I'm just happy to listen.
We're glad we were able to hear you as well. It's wonderful. And if you don't mind, may talk a little bit about it, some of the things you're going through? Because
Sure.
Deborah's going through similar things, and this is the period, and I know we've talked about this, and I don't want to be a broken record, but it's just worth mentioning again that the people in this group and some that aren't here, this is the life we've really chosen to let all that old stuff go, that whole many chapters of lifetimes that was a certain strata of learning that we did, and we're done with it. And we're moving to this next plateau and operating from there. We're anchoring up there all the time. And as we do that, of course, we're helping anchoring the whole soul group. But part of that sometimes means that we had some pretty, let's say, challenging lives, sometimes tumultuous lives in the past. And that stuff, it needs to come up. Most of it just falls away or gets released. But some of it does get processed through, and as I said before, with women more so than men, it processes through the body, and that's what some of the stuff Deborah's going through now. With, she's got symptoms that look like they're a cold or something, but they're not. They're not at all that what they are. Because I can see in the aura, colds have a specific pattern. So does the flu. In fact, any of the diseases, and I recognize them. This is more like the environmental stuff or the old energies from I want to call them inert. I want to use that word. Inert energy. They're not inert, but I'm going to use the word dead energies. They're the ones of the old stuff, not active with us, but still very powerful as they come up and can affect us. And that's some of the things she's going through. But I think it kind of hit with her, and like with many of you, and the reason why I want to share it is because sometimes these things, we're ready for a lot, and all of a sudden a lot happens, and you get this convergence, and suddenly we have our foot hurting, and then we have whatever the heck else happens. We're having rashes and this, that, and the other thing. Like, what is going on? And we feel like things are falling apart, when in reality, it's actually a huge convergence of things being released. And it's because we're ready for it. It may not be pleasant, but we can also facilitate it to make it happen faster. So keep it shorter than longer. And I just wanted to share that. Do you have anything to share on that, or any thoughts on it from your own experience with it?
Well, from my perspective, it has not been fun. And yeah, it's a lot of stuff's coming up, physically and emotionally. A lot of emotional stuff's coming up, and so it seems to be the pattern of my life. I'm letting go of so much stuff constantly. It's never, oh, I feel great for like 4 or 5 months. It's for a little while, and
2 or 3 weeks or
2 or
something.
3 weeks, and then it just starts all over again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good thing, but it's also very challenging right now, because I want to be done with all this. I want to be to where I am healthy and I'm able to go do things. And it's been really challenging to be able to do that. And spring's coming, and I want to be out there in the garden. And I can't do that right now.
So
I don't know. It's very, very tiring. I'm tired.
yeah.
I need rest. I need a chance to just kind of regroup, let things kind of be for now, and be calm so that I can regroup and figure out what's next.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. So
We're going to find out.
yeah, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And one of your guides said daunting was the word.
it is daunting. That's how it feels. It's daunting.
Yeah, that was the word they used.
Yes.
He or she is. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, so thank you. I mean, and it's not fun to go through it, but it's one of those things. And the reason why we're able to do it, Edgar Casey talked about it. We're coming, and Dr. McKimmey talked about it for those who knew him. June, and probably just no one in the group really knew June other than me, but she all talked about these energies coming in. Even in the books, which one of my mom's reads?
Winter wheat?
No, the
Dolores Cannon.
Dolores Cannon books talk about we're in this high energetic time, and this is an environment that allows us to do this. We couldn't do this before, so even if it's challenging, that's why it's happening now. So, all right, I won't go on and on anymore, so I'll move on. Pat, do you want me to talk now, or do you want to come back to you?
I'll talk. I'll be glad to talk now because
Oh, wow. That's a first. I
well,
love it.
yeah. Since yesterday, I have been consciously cutting the cords of the matrix from all the millennia that we've been like kept prisoner and trapped, and that we have all had, most of us have had such a hard time trying to break free of that, not even understanding what was going on, because what we know so well in this lifetime, because unless some of you may remember, others I don't, is this like Debra and Paula were talking about, if we have pain or we have depression and sadness. And so I thought, you have got to be more conscious, Pat, because I've been dragging around like an old old dog or something, or cat, you know,
Oh my goodness.
and the tiredness has been, like unbelievable. But then what you said clarified so much when you said these new beautiful lights are streaming in.
They are.
And I realized, yes, because so much of the old matrix is done, even though it doesn't appear that way. And that grid that was protecting the earth, not protecting it, actually just wouldn't let as many light beings and the great central sun and all that. It couldn't come in the way it is meant to. And now I do get it why we actually signed up for this. And then this morning, so that was yesterday, and this morning I was doing that. I started feeling so alive. I
Ooh.
haven't felt alive like that in a long time. I mean, like almost ecstatic. And then I had a cranial sacral this afternoon, which was amazing. And then I went out to Teddy's and had an incredible foot massage. And we were talking about gateways and all kinds of cool stuff. And we were laughing. I mean, I haven't even laughed like this for a long time. It was like almost uncontrollable. We
Hmm.
were just so hugging and laughing. And it was like, oh, and then you come tonight and you tell us this. Beautiful, beautiful. And Paula said she felt so much, more, my words alive. She had a different word for how she was feeling today. But yeah, thank you. I get it today anyway.
Well, thank you. Is there
I
anything
still,
else? You have
well,
more?
Teddy took a lot of stuff off my sore places, and I have been getting a lot of different body work from different ones, and it's just like every little increment has helped, and I'm seeing that my wording, the way I say things has to change. I have to not only thank these things, but know that I I have let them go, that this is who I am, and I don't need them to reiterate the pain or the suffering. It's time for us all to be done with it, but we're still kind of held, and it's hard to just, I don't want to say it's hard. See, I'm changing my languaging, but I can't find words now.
Hmm.
It's not so easy to just let it go when you hurt so much, and I'm not saying I came home and didn't hurt at all, but it's like, okay, that's helping me by going and getting what I need to do for me. It's helping me to let it go easily, and I will continue.
Wow. Well, that's wonderful. And it is good when we can get to the place where we can, feel well, feel to the point where we can let it go. Where it becomes the challenge becomes a little bit less.
Well, and I think what happened today, from what you said, that was part of it. And I didn't even know it. And I'm grateful that I didn't know it, because I didn't have anticipation that way. I just knew I felt the best I felt energetically anyway for a long time. So
Wow.
thank you.
That is absolutely wonderful. Wow. Well, that's a good place because I know you've had all kinds of stuff that's been going on, and that's absolutely great news. I'd love to hear it. Wow. And those energies that are coming in, by the way, and there's lots of them, whole variety of spectrum in the higher spectrum. If you end up tapping into them, if you find yourself doing it, they're incredibly invigorating. And we use the word powerful, but I mean, because they're so high frequency, when they get into us, they just really, as we absorb the light, you could say it illuminates us with it, but it really invigorates us with it, and then we're able to really make use of it. It's kind of like light workers caffeine. It's a very wonderful thing, gets us energized. So I don't know a lot more about it yet because it just became to my awareness, as I said, just recently, like day to yesterday or today, somewhere in there. So, Pat, so is there anything else before we move on?
I hope it's here to stay. I know it's here to stay. It's we just have to really, we just need to incorporate it into our beings
Yeah, and choose it.
and choose it. Choose
Yeah,
it. That's a good
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, all right. All right, we're going to move on now, and thank you, Pat. And Lisa, do you have anything to share? Any thoughts at all? Love to hear what's going on with you, and I know you're always incredibly doing 5 things at once, so I'm always impressed.
Yeah, it's been busy. I'm getting ready for my springtime show, so it's gonna be busy, busy time again. Um, last week, it seemed like I didn't get a lot of sleep last week. It was almost like every other day the energies were coming in. It was pretty intense
Hmm.
and then over through the weekend. And this week I've gotten a little bit more rest. Um, I'm noticing the dreams are really been changing a lot. Um, they're definitely more vivid, but I
Hmm.
feel like I'm really traveling to a lot of other places. I'm becoming more aware of that.
Yeah.
Um, and then I've had a couple different opportunities come in, and yeah, not even trying. I had a friend, I haven't talked to her for a long time. She was from the Michael Tamura's group,
Hmm.
and we got together and talked on the phone, and she got this intuition to start to record these conversations with the group of people that she knows that are teachers and things, healers, and to start to put them out on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing something like that with
Ooh.
her. So I don't know what will happen with it, but I thought, well, it'll be fun. Let's try it out. And then when I went to get my hair cut, the lady there said I could put some of my skincare products in there.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh, I didn't, things just don't even dawn on me that you would think that I would have be thinking about. But no, I was telling her that I was making these things. She's like, well, you could bring them here and sell them. She's like, I'd be happy to sell them for you. So,
Wow.
so yeah.
Yeah, you know that not realizing things in process improvement, which I used to do a lot when I was in the Navy, um, you're part of teams and that sort of thing. Anyway, when you finally realize what the problem was or what the key thing is that you should be doing, and everyone knew it, it was right in front of us, but it's like, wow, how did we miss that one? They call those BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. And which that's kind of what that is. It's like, I knew that, but I didn't, it just, it didn't occur to me. But I'm glad the opportunity came up. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
So, anything else? I'd love to hear about what other things that might be happening as well.
I'm just releasing a lot of stuff as well as energies coming in and more stuff's getting cleared out. And fortunately, I haven't been as in much pain as everyone else. But oh, I wanted to ask you this one thing because I've had in this elbow, it's my left side. I thought I had injured it or something. It just all of a sudden it was hurting, and this has been several months. And I thought, well, is it from the crocheting, because I'm using my arms? But I think it's a past life thing. I think maybe this was cut off here.
It was severely injured, almost useless.
Yeah, because I'm like, it should have healed if I would have heard it by now.
Mhm.
Because this was all the way back, maybe in, I know at least October, maybe September. So I was like, this got to be a past life thing.
It's part
So,
of a longer stream of energy that you're releasing. And by the way, that pattern that we've all talked about, that's what everybody that I know that's on the committed spiritual path, they're all going through this because this is the time. But yes, that's what it was. Your arm was oh, middle ages somewhere in there, um, broken basically backward. It
oh,
was it was a pretty severe, and I don't know the whole circumstances behind it, and it's probably not really all that necessary, but it was just a traumatic thing that happened to you then And it really impacted you in that life. You just because of, not being able to use it as you had still had some use of it, but not much. Anyway, and I think there's things around that that you're also releasing now too.
Mm-hmm.
Surround that. Yeah.
I've definitely had, oh, maybe a month ago, I had really sharp pains in this area that are usually Atlanta stuff. And
Mhm.
it was almost like stabbing pains at night. I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm just breathing through it because I figured that it was just more stuff that was coming out. But yeah, just going through some stuff and
Wow. Well,
um
you're moving on, and I can tell you it's going to continue moving on. And I think just, and not that you're going to have, challenges we all do from time to time. I think you're moving in a very positive direction. That's where things are flowing right now. And that is so wonderful for you. I want to know how your products sell in the beauty shop. You can start your thing here.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. And still got some frustration. It hasn't really. I guess the only other question I have is you had said the last time that some stuff would be coming up for Angie that might kind of push her out of the whole business. And
It could,
right
yes.
after
Yeah.
right after that, she had some stuff with her mom come up. Her mom's got some cancer stuff going on. So I'm wondering if that's something that's possibly what you were talking about.
It could be. I didn't know what it was. They wouldn't let me know, but they just, because I probably wasn't supposed to know. But yeah, I think that's what it is. And there's going to be some follow-on stuff. I don't know if it's associated with it, but there'll be a follow-on thing. And what your high self is saying is that your awareness of this, when she's in the right place and it's the right time to mention it, you're going to have that sense, and then that'll be the time you can talk if she's going to do it. And if approach, if the situation is such that she can let go of it. But she has this, I don't know, we talked about it, just this wanting to have this thing um, without the realistic requirements that she must, that she must do. I'm not getting the right words here because I'm getting it energetically, but anyway, you already know what I'm saying. She's just not in the place where she's realistic about this. Let me say it that way. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned the Atlantis thing because that's true too. There is some Atlantean stuff coming up. It's not this thing so much, though there might be some tie to it. I think some of the stuff that you're having ties back to that Atlantis event she had. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because what happens is, how stuff, I don't know how it is for you, a lot of you, but when it comes through, I have it in the moment, and I think I'll mention that later, and it's like it's gone, and so, so anyway, okay. Anything else before we move on, Lisa?
No?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I know it's really busy. It must be tiring, but I'm so glad that things are going positively, lots of activity. That is wonderful. Okay, Franny. Yeah, you're muted. It's your turn. Any thoughts, any questions, anything at all?
Could you come back to me? I'm still kind of shifting in, dropping in. And I
Sure.
feel like as we're talking, I'm letting go of a lot of stuff and kind of getting regrounded. So I'd love it if you could come back to me.
Absolutely, not a problem at all. Okay, we're going to move on to Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Anything to share?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I don't know if you see it, but or heard, Deborah's here. She
I
really
saw
does
it.
exist.
Hello.
She does. I know those reports. She's not a mythological creature at all. Yeah,
Very awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
Well,
here.
the cat has a lot to say to you, but I can't translate at the moment.
All right. So what's happening? Please give us an update.
So I did take the job. So I started this morning and I worked for half a day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it'll be something kind of fun for a little while anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that happened was I um I got the flu, or what I think was the flu, pretty bad for like a week or more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of working through the coughing and the snotty nose. But I thought it was really interesting is that my dad and my one of my brothers also got it at the same time. And so I didn't know if that's like we're all releasing some stuff with the family or
Well, it's your stuff and family stuff, and these things do happen because you're closely energetically connected and things. And the flu happens to be prevalent right now.
yeah,
It's all over the place. Trust me. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I think
so
everybody's got it.
yeah.
But if you can tell me anything about what you see about the job, that would be great. And I
I'm
appreciate you.
I'm going to be a silent film right now on that. Okay. That's what I'm going
Okay.
to be, and it's a real positive thing. I'm just going to leave what we talked about, what came through in that for you in that email. That's the phase you're moving into, and it's been one you've been kind of slowly, moving into it, acquiescing the old patterns and bringing in the new. And this is a real, in this lifetime, because things are so accelerated for everybody, this is a time for you to be that inner self for you. And it won't happen all at once. And, some
Okay.
days more than others, but yes, it's going to be a real chance to really let your light shine. Um,
Okay.
yeah. And they don't want me to say anything. So that's all I have to say. It's good.
Okay. Well, as long as it's good, I'm okay with it.
All righty. All
Thank
right.
you.
Anything else? You got any other thing? I don't want to move on and tell you if there's anything else you have to share or say.
No, that was really about it. Nothing else exciting going on over here.
Yeah,
You
I
know, when
think it's pretty exciting that you're moving on, and it's in and boy, I'm just going to leave it there. I was going to say something and they told me to not say it, so I'm done.
yeah,
All righty. So with that, let's move on to Marcy. She's on
thank you.
the screen here. Do you have anything? Are you there, Marcy?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm moving around so I can get out of the wind and in a quiet spot. Hopefully it's not too much background noise.
I think sounds good on my end. How about everybody else?
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, interesting. So much of the physical thing. After the last Zoom call, stuff always happens around these Zoom calls, like the day of it and then the day after. I always have a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And after the last one, my third eye really, I could really tell a lot had happened there. And then probably a day or so after that, I was out for like a week. I was just down, and it took another week to get it back together again. But I just kept hearing detoxing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really nice to be feeling, more energetic, a little bit more energetic, and not being just, in bed kind of thing. I'm in Hawaii. Yay, what a relief. I feel like I'm home even though I'm not. I'm at a rental place, but it's just, yeah, it's such a world of difference. I've been looking to go over to the Big Island, and it's got the volcano thing going with the VOG. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a little bit of a deterrent, although if I get strong enough guidance, I'll go anyway. I'd like to go next week, but it keeps doing these little bursts. And then the air quality is not very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you see anything about that or not.
I think you're probably right. It's prudent to wait. I think they want you to wait. They being your guides.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I,
In the universe.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't want to push it. There's a part of me that feels like it's got to keep things going. It's got to keep moving. It's got to get this thing done. But the reality of it is you got to be able to breathe too.
Yeah, that volcano fog. I haven't heard fog for so long. I've forgotten all about that. I was in Hawaii when I remember they used to talk about it off and on, when things happened. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
things are moving for you. Just so you know, that detox was a detox and a huge, pretty energetic one too that corresponded with that.
Yeah, it was major.
Yeah.
It was major. And it was like, well, it looks like, like you're sick or you're ill, but it's like, no, that's not what it's saying. It's saying detox. So it's like, okay, I'm going to just go along that course. So I knew it was making space for new stuff to come in. I could tell that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you're still processing through it. And that's why I think it's just coincidence, how these things happen in the spiritual realm, that the volcano fog is happening while you're still finishing off, letting the last of it go, the last of the fog of your own energetic and physical detox go, so that when you go there, you're more fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
And ready for the
new.
And
it's not like
Go ahead.
I can wait until April when my son comes. It's one of those things like you don't know, right? It'll stop for a couple days and then it'll start back up again. So I just kind of have to go by intuition and I'm not super motivated to do anything. I'm just floating. All I want to do is be down by the water and crawling around picking up shells. That's all I want to do.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's like a plan.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that. I'm actually pretty good at it.
All right. It's flowing along fine, and you're moving into when you get there, it'll be time for the new connections and the new energies of what you're going to be, moving on the next, I want to call it phase, the next, next step, next unfoldment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I'm feeling very grateful. I love that we all have all these similarities, and I'm just happy that everybody's doing so well. This is really fun.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm pretty blank. Pretty blank.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Such a joy for everybody having everybody here. Yeah, love hearing it. And the fact that you're over there and able to just jump in, it felt so fantastic. It wasn't that many years ago that wasn't even possible very much, except for advanced corporations in the military. They could do it, but everybody else, we couldn't do it. This is great. We can all talk all at once here. I loved it. Debra, do you have anything to share? You have a chance. You can be a participant as well.
I don't have anything else to say.
Okay.
My life is, like Marci said, blank.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have anything really going on. I'm just kind of being. My thing is doing my jigsaw puzzles. That's what I'm doing. And sourdough. Trying to get my sourdough working.
I gotta tell you, she's on a sourdough mission, just so you know. There's people online, they talk about it, they get really, really into their sourdough. That's Debra. And she's, the beauty of it is once you do figure it out, then you can really do wonderful things. And I, of course, am the lucky benefactor of having crackers and biscuits and other nice treats that come out of that. So anyway. Okay. Pat already did. Okay, I want to go back to Franny. Are you ready now,
Yeah.
Franny? Okay, so
Yeah.
go ahead. Anything to share? Any questions? Anything at all for anyone? Because if anyone has anything to share as well.
I have a couple of things tonight. Overall, I'm doing pretty well. So I'll start off with that.
Okay.
I mean, the sunshine is wonderful. I say that I'm solar powered. When the sun's out, life is good, really recognizing it's only March, but it just feels really good to have this dose of spring weather. So I had an interesting call from my niece last week, and she wanted to talk last weekend, but that wasn't possible for me. So she said she had something big to talk with me about, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," because she doesn't usually ask for things or anything like that. So, or, we go back and forth, but it got my curiosity up. So we finally connected on Wednesday, and not this past Wednesday, but a week ago. And we got caught up on school.
Mhm.
She's second year of community college and wanting to transfer to a 4-year school. And she had been filling out applications, and we had talked a lot about that. And she got stalled out with that and got real disillusioned. She needed to have 3 letters of recommendation. She said she reached out to people, they didn't follow through. She has been working really hard, and she said that she was actually covering some of her mom's expenses, which
Mm.
I was surprised to hear. She's paying for their car insurance and then paying for some food for what, um, she doesn't, I don't think she pays all the household grocery bill, but she's paying some of it. And she did have a part-time job, but I don't know what happened with that. So, she at one point was working at Target, and then she also was supposed to have a 10-hour-a-week job with the community college, but I don't know. I think they dropped that maybe. I'm not quite sure what happened. But anyway, she called me saying that she was really feeling kind of low, and she wanted to know if she could come and stay with me for this summer. And I was like, wow. So I would love to have her. And I told her yes.
Mhm.
And, we'd have some things to figure out. For one thing, she's living in New Jersey, a very fast-paced life.
Mhm.
And Eureka's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
So there'll be, definitely some adjustment there. And she wants to work, she wants to get a job, and she's a really good worker. So if she can find something, and we can work out some of the logistics, like how she would get around, and I have my job and how to manage all of that, coordinate schedules and stuff. I just think it'll be wonderful to have her here. So that's my that's my first thing, my first issue, and there's a second part to that, but I'd love to hear what you have to say, if or what my guides have to say, and anything else about Rayanne that could help me to work with her and mentor her.
I just say make sure what I'm getting from your guides, and they're not. There's going to be when she comes here, it's going to be an adjustment for you because then you're dealing with you're used to having your rhythms of your life. She has hers, and getting everything to work out. But work out the details of who's doing what and how it's going to get covered, and maybe the financials, whatever else that you need to do along with that before she comes. And she's already talked about some things, but just try to get the details kind of talked about, at least if not, it doesn't necessarily have to be specifically, but kind of arranged so that they have kind of a framework in which that she drops in that this is the world in which the patterns in which we live, or the however you want to think about it, but the framework in which you're going to be living together, so that's basically it. Just keep, get the details. And there'll be a thing, there'll probably be, as anything happens, because with her, things will come up and you'll end up becoming aware of them and being part of helping her. But it'll be a very positive thing for her. And it's just, I think, just being really thorough and ahead of time, all the details of, whatever it is, living arrangements, sharing, this, that, and the other thing, as you talked about, the logistics as well as how you operate. That'll be a very, very powerful and good thing for her to have. It'll keep her ship sailing smooth. Yeah, and it'll be a great thing because she'll get to see life from a bit different perspective, and be in your energies and be in your environment. That'll be a really good thing for her, because there's part of her that's cut off from those energies. That's just ready for it. And so I think coming here will allow her to be immersed in that, and that'll be something that will serve her well, not only now, but even if she doesn't realize it, into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She said she wanted to clear out her head and said, I just need to like pause. I need to not do anything else right now. She's going to finish school. She finishes like, I don't know, second or third week of May. And
Mm.
she's like, I just don't even know if I want to go to a 4-year school now. She's worried about student aid being not there anymore, and she would need to rely on student aid. Um, so, and she likes to kayak and she likes to do outdoor activities. And I live really close to a lake. She can walk down there, get in my kayak and paddle around. And I think being not just in my energy, but in the Northwest Montana, surrounded by mountains and nature energy, is going to be really healing for her.
Agree.
Um, yeah. And I don't know if she's used to doing things by herself. So that might be, New Jersey's just it's just a different world. So I don't know. So that might be like part of the learning curve. Um, but there's a piece too about her mother, like she's wanting to get away from her mother right now. And um, I've never heard that before. She's always been pretty loyal to her mother, even though I've talked with her about her mom being mentally ill and having undiagnosed bipolar or some sort of mood disorder,
Mhm.
because her mother will fly off the handle and just rage and rage and rage. And it's not normal, it's not healthy, and it's hard to be around.
Mhm.
And anyway, she's saying that she needs to take a break from her mom and her grandma, who they live with. And she's not going to tell her mom until a few weeks before she comes. And so, I had to kind of sit with that and think about, is that setting me up to be on the receiving end of Karen's anger or animosity? But I'm not worried about that. And I actually feel like it may be a good thing for her to have a break, and then she may be able to go back and have some sort of more adult-like relationship with her mother. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to hold for her, especially if she doesn't complete those college applications. It was
Mhm.
such a good, solid plan, and now it sounds like she may be detouring, and that is what it is. She's smart, she's a good worker, she'll land on her feet, so I'm not really concerned about that. And she's never ever asked me for anything, as opposed to my nephew, who for a long time would ask to borrow money over and over and over again, and I had to say no, 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 no. And he'd still ask. Um, the other, so is there anything about her mom, Jeff? Anything about her mom that I should know?
Well, I think you've already know what her mom is like. So, and there could be some things coming up, and it's just um, her condition is such that it's going to be, if she's in one of her moods, one of her states, it's going to be hard to have a conversation with her. But I want to focus on your niece. She really is feeling burdened by that relationship right now. And it's time
Okay.
for a reset for that. Very accurately stated that. It's what she's looking for. I don't know that she's aware of it completely consciously that that's what she needs to do, but it's going to be a detachment and a reassessing of her relationship, and a lot of that, transactional analysis stuff, adult child thing. She's shifting now to the more of the peer, and maybe even somewhat of a more senior role because of her mom's condition. So being here is, I agree with you, being in that role is going to, being here is going to be good. The energies, the mountain energies being with you, and everything has the rules of New Jersey and the East Coast, because we used to live there. We understand that. She's got to learn how to be where there's no boundaries, where you have to make your own and operate within them. You know how it is. You can get just even, I can use something as innocuous as driving. You can get on some old road here, one of the old two tracks, and you can get lost up in the woods. It's not a good example, but so far, but also here, the boundaries she's used to and the rules will seem less here, and it's going to be really important for her to be able to set her own internal. I'm not even sure why I'm saying this, but I'm getting that this is going to be something you will notice, that she'll have, hey, let's go do this, or I'm thinking we'll try that, where she wouldn't have before because it's just her environment didn't allow it. Now she's, the bumpers are off the lanes, and now things, you can go do what you want. So it's not going to be a real big problem, but it'll be one of those things that I think as you see it, it'll be a healthy thing for her, because that's one of the things that's going to be part of this reset, with this clearing her head, disconnecting and reconnecting with a new relationship with her mother, that process going, and being in a life where things are less bounded. That's the word they're showing me. I'm not for her, where they're not constrained by the externals of society, or the nature of the environment you're in. And the East Coast has it, definitely has it. So, I mean, you nailed it. So I think you're right on track. That's why your guys weren't particularly concerned, just to make sure you nail down the details, and more and more will come to you as time goes on, and once she's here, whatever's might be missed, you can talk about. But yeah, I think it's going to be very healthy. And I already know that, but you were a bit of a role model and a mentor for her. You already know that, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
especially since her mom's been unstable, and we've gotten closer over the last few years, And the other thing for me is that after she had called me, it just took a little while to process it, and I kind of went through a round of grieving my brother, like that he isn't here, and it's the right thing to do, and it's good. So I think it's going to be healing for me to be around her. And I'm already like, I have to just not create too many expectations, because I'm like, oh, she can help me in the garden and it's going to be so much fun. And, we're going to go pick up flowers together and do all these pots for the porch. And, anyway, so again, it's going to help me. It's going to be good for me. It's not just a one-way street, but I recognize that she is, yeah, she's at a vulnerable age, a tender age. She was 16 when her dad died, and then we went into COVID, and the rugs were pulled out from underneath of her. So I'm glad to be in that role. It feels great for me to do that.
And just so your high self said, when you were saying it, she agrees with you. Don't have expectations. She could help you to get. She does. Yeah, it's very important that things are organic and flow. And if she's open to something, she'll let you know. Yeah.
Darn. Darn.
Yeah, she said that you were very. She was like, yeah. She said she being your high self again said that. Yeah, don't do. Yeah, you're right. Don't have expectations. And just let it be. Because this is a healing time for her, amongst many other things. It'll be this time in her life. If you can get the environment where everything is just kind of set up and things flow, again, it will serve her for years.
Oh, good. Good. And then
Did I
just jumping.
Yes,
Franny?
Oh,
please.
please.
So yeah, I was getting don't plan stuff because she's gonna come there and it's gonna be going through this whole decompression thing.
Yeah.
And what I'm watching, because I understand what it's like to live with a mom like that. It's very hard, it's very challenging. And hopefully at some point she will be able to get out of that environment, because she's always on eggshells. She's in a state of survival all the time, even if she doesn't realize it. So it's going to be like a huge decompression to come to Montana where it's slower, and she's going to just little by little start to open up and to expand. I mean, it's like she's been in like a cage, and then all of a sudden you open the door to the huge outdoor area. She's not going to know what to do with that. She's going to be in a place where she's going to have more freedom, and she doesn't know how to exist in that level. She's just been in this little tiny box,
Bounds.
surviving. So kind of
Wow.
understand that it's a lot that she's going through, and it's going to be huge to give her this opportunity. So
Okay.
just be patient with her and just kind of let her find her own rhythm with it. So you can make suggestions and then just don't be attached to anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Mm. So,
Yeah, like how
yeah,
you said
that's
that,
really good.
that's exactly it. That you're out in a cage and unbound. That's what I was talking about, bounded. There's no boundaries, and she's gonna. Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you. Wow.
Well, I had one more thing that if we have time, I'd love to get a little bit of feedback on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been going to see my friend that was in the accident, and that's been good. He There's always been somebody there with him up until this last weekend. So several of us have been concerned that he still needs more care, but I don't know how he's done this week. I haven't called him or reached out, but I will this weekend. I'll check in with him and give him a call. But I'm just wondering if there's another way that I can support him. Um, or if going to visit, like I've been going every couple of weeks maybe, and I'm not going this weekend. I ended up going 2 weekends in a row, but that was because my car broke down and I had to leave it there. Oh.
I think what I'm getting is it. I think there's yes is the answer to the question, but I think you're gonna know maybe in your interactions with him when you visit, or in some other communication if you have that, to say what can you do, and especially if you feel called to do that in the moment. If you're saying, what if there's something else and you want to ask, but part of you doesn't want to ask, go ahead. If you're feeling called to do it, ask him and see what comes up.
Mhm.
It has, it's going to have to be the right moment for him to say something.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm getting. Unless someone else has things, I mean, really appreciate all the input that everyone has. It's so wonderful because we all pick up on different facets of things, and that gives you even more information from getting all the different pieces that each of us brings through.
Mhm.
That's all I'm getting at this point.
Okay. And I did have a really good conversation with his youngest son that I don't know that well, but had a good conversation with him and feel like I can follow up with him. And part of the dilemma is that um, my friend Glenn is very private. So people want to help and be there, but they also want to respect his privacy. And it seems like he's pretty proud. He was going to stop there. There's a thing called the meal train where people
Mhm.
sign up and take food every day. And he wanted to stop that. And some of the people just got together and said, we're going to keep going for a while because he wouldn't be cooking on his own. Like it's obvious that he's still, that it's still a good thing for him.
Yes.
Um, so anyway, I guess that's all I have to say, unless anybody has anything else.
Yeah. And so if anyone does, please jump in.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's where it is for him, and you're going to have to be, boy, it's going to really take use of your skills, your very honed skills, and I mean that seriously, to sense when you can, there's if you ask that question, you sense there's something there, but you're not entirely sure. He's not wanting to share it. I don't know how you can massage that conversation for it to come out. If it's done just right, he will. But you're right. He's a proud man, and he's independent, but he hides his own needs, and you already know that. He absolutely does. And some part of him just doesn't want to acknowledge it, but he knows that where things are, and he would be he'd welcome it if it just happened in the right way. That's what I just came through, is that if you're in conversation or some other communication where you're getting the sense to ask, it just ask in the way you're guided, and something may come through with him where you can do a little bit something else. So
Thank you so much.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you, and thank you everyone. I love everything you had to say, and um, it's fantastic. Debra, do you have anything to add? Any thoughts about anything? Okay. All right. It's fine and dandy. So I'm going to go
I
go ahead.
Oh, going back to Paula's, that explains a lot, because I've been dealing with the same kind of, as the conversation kept going on, the weird depression, weird pain, and it's just been in like the last 4 days, and it's just really uncharacteristic for me. Now I get it. Thank you, Paula.
See, we all help each other. And I don't know if you're all, I'm sure you do. As we're all on the channel, all of your energies are flowing through. I'm getting all of them, and you're all getting everybody else. We're all getting it. It's like we're in a room together. We're just in a virtual room, but in the spiritual realm, it doesn't make any difference. Oh, wow. Okay, with that, I'm going to go around and just see any last thoughts, anything else before we close. I don't have anything more really to share at this point, just these incoming energies and things are in flux right now, not only for the soul group, but for all of us, because we're the anchors for the soul group, not just us, but other light workers throughout the world. And as we're bringing this in, we're helping to chart the course in a positive direction for those who are ready to choose it. And that was one of the other things I think that came through that I was supposed to mention, was that as we look around, and you can see it, you watch the news, whatever, you can, or those that we know around us, and he's like, why is this person doing this? And people are where they are in their learning, and some people aren't ready for the light. They need a little bit more of the other movie. Remember, if anyone who's read Illusions, Richard Bach asked him, why would anyone want to watch an unhappy movie or a horror movie or anything else? And he says, because for reasons that are perfectly sound to them, this is what they think they should do or what they deserve. And until we're ready to let go of that lesser identity and really seek and walk the path that's the true us, that's the path they're going to walk. But that's why it's so important that all of us, we know who we are, we know our connection, we're growing in our connection, walking that light, and as we bring it through, we're anchoring it for everyone else. It's not only a gift to us, but for everyone. I know that's, again, one of my broken record things, and I know we all talk about that, but it cannot be understated, because they routinely tell me, we don't appreciate the things we do, how powerful and how transformative and how what an impact it has on those around us. We don't see it because some of it others aren't going to share, or they're not even aware of it yet. So anyway, with that, I'm going to start with Marci this time. Any final thoughts? Anything at all?
Well, I'm still blank.
Actually, that's a good thing, Marci, for you right now. That's actually a good thing. So, all right.
I guess pretty much the only thing I would say is I want to know what prompted Debra to come on this one time, because it's so special.
I don't know. I kept vacillating all day today. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to be here tonight. I don't usually come because I feel like I don't have a whole lot to offer, to share. But I think I need to get out of that mode and be more connected to other people, because I'm feeling really isolated. And so I need to make an effort to be more engaging in being out there a little more. So this is kind of like the first step, being out there, connecting with others, because I'm by myself most of the time here in my little house here with I'm talking to the jigsaw puzzle, That's my life kind of thing. So I need to change that. I need to be out there doing more things. So
this is it.
I think I need to be more involved. So hopefully I'll have more to say later.
That's great. Thank you. You're like the cherry on the cake, because Jeff got to talk about the Sasquatch at the beginning, and it really made me laugh. So.
Well, it's true. I'm going to share two things real quick on that question. Why asking her why she's here. Well, I used to go into town a lot, and Deborah's kind of like, she likes to stay here. And I tell people, well, yeah, I'm married. I said, and after a while, after months of this, they said, yeah, sure, you're married. Sure, yeah, you're just doing that. So, I said, no, 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 she is. And that's where the mythical creature came from. It's like, Sasquatch or UFO sightings. We've all talked about them, but there's been, we don't have haven't got the proof. And here she is. So, and the other thing, and I want to share, this is a prime example of this. Because of Deborah's unique connection, and we all have one, but because of her connection, she brings things through and often thinks that it's her idea when in actuality, I know it comes from, because I can watch it as she's saying it. It comes from the Divine Mother down through the layers and throughout. And so one day I was meditating, long story short, and I had a question. And they said, ask Deborah. I asked the mother, and the mother said, ask Deborah, and the father said, ask Deborah. I said, okay, I'm going to go ask Deborah. So I walked out there, and then Deborah, and we all sometimes feel this way, and I think it's why it's important to share. She says, I don't know. I don't know what to have this thing saying. I said, well, listen, here's my question. You just start talking. So she started talking, and then it kind of built, and next idea would come to her mind, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of these sentences, the one sentence spoken exactly perfectly, just like Lisa does, couched it just perfectly. And it's like, that's it. That was what I was wanting. It resonated, answered my question. So, we all have these special gifts, and I am so glad she's here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and thank you for asking that question. Jessica, any final questions, thoughts, questions, anything at all?
Oh, I just want to say thanks. It's been a great call, and it was great seeing Debra after so long, and
Yeah. Yeah, she hasn't moved on to the new dimension yet, so
that's
she's still
good.
here. She's still with us. Yes.
Awesome.
Hasn't moved on to the new earth. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for everything.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said thank you for everything.
Oh, you're welcome. And just enjoy life.
Okay.
Be that shining person you are.
Okay. I'm going to do it. Thank you.
Yeah. Lisa, I love her necklace. I thought it was just one of those things that was not right, but it was deliberate. She's got it sideways. I like it. Now it's growing on me. Any last thoughts or anything?
Oh, it's just great. Of course, it's wonderful to see Deborah and have her here. And, Deborah, even if you don't have anything to say, it's just having your energy here, which is so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really hope that you keep coming back. But yeah, because it's so great to see everybody and connect with everyone. And I just always am excited for the next month to come up and to see everybody. It just feels like there's this support, and I'm in a little town. I don't have a lot of friends here. So it's really wonderful to see, my soul family each month, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And I love that soul family. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good name. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate everyone, but I appreciate all the things and your input, and as always, anyone has thoughts during these sessions, please speak up, because what you have to say, if you feel called to say something, it's probably important that you say it. In fact, I know it's important that you do. All right, Paula, any last thoughts, questions, anything at all? Uh-oh. There it is.
There, it was like, come on, pop up on the screen. No, and same as what Lisa was saying, just being together, the energetics. After sitting here for an hour, I just start getting into that lovely, blissful feeling, and you're just kind of letting the energies flow in and out. So, Debra, a lot of times we all show up with nothing to say, but we always find something wonderful. So I agree. Thank you, everyone. And we'll next month, I look forward to it. Like Lisa said, it's always a highlight.
Yeah, it's wonderful being together. Thank you. Nicole, any parting thoughts? Any questions? What do you have?
Oh, it's just amazing getting to see Debra. Yes,
See, you're the
Thank
it's
hit.
you.
hard. It's hard to believe it's almost been a year and a half since I left.
It's been a long
Yes,
time.
time flies.
Yeah. So I definitely am. If I do plan a trip coming back, and when I do, I will definitely try to schedule it so I can make an actual meditation. I need it
Yes.
so much. I need hugs.
Yes,
We'd
I
love
miss my
that.
hugs
and a sound shower.
And a sound shower too.
and a
There you
sound
go.
shower.
Sound
I will
shower.
let you know so we can work something
Yeah.
out because I can only probably be back for a week. So.
Well, maybe you can come to this one this Saturday. Maybe not. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
when they actually finally create the transporter,
Okay.
I'll be right on that.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, we'll see you when you show up. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Franny, any last thoughts?
Well, I echo what everybody has said. Just wonderful to be here. I left work, got home, it was 10 to 7, set my computer up, didn't have my phone to do the mobile hotspot. My phone was back here at the office, so I had to run back. And so I'm kind of like, just sort of running, running, running. And I really needed that time to just sort of drop in and be here. And just as I listened to other people, I could feel the layers drop away, just release. And then I could feel the energies rising and feel my own energy rising. And as though I was connecting with kind of the community energy field, the field of the group. And
Hmm.
so I just want to echo again what everybody said. It's just wonderful to be here. And I'm so grateful to have this group. Just so grateful to have you, Jeff, and you, Deborah. Thrilled that you're here. Please do come as you feel called.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you, even if you don't say anything. Just
Yeah.
just being there is plenty. And thanks to everybody. Thanks to each person for your sharing and your showing up for this. Yeah, we're all on the path, right?
Yeah,
Actually, yes.
we are.
Yes. And not only is everyone here on the committed path, but they're on the accelerated path. And it's probably, I can say for everyone in varying ways, it's going to probably accelerate some more coming up pretty soon. So more to follow. What do they used to say in the stay tuned for next episode, and so that's what things are gonna. There's gonna come. It's coming up. There's some more. Those higher energies coming in. They're part of a whole. I want to call it a plethora, but there's a whole bunch of them that are gonna be following behind it, and those are all part of the new energies and the new. I don't want to use the word paradigm. That's overly used, but the new energies associated with the high for all of us operating at this higher strata in our life paths, and that's what everyone here is doing in an accelerated fashion. So, thank you. All right, Pat. Any last thoughts,
Well,
questions?
like everybody else said, I just feel really grateful to be here. I'm grateful that Deborah's here. Deborah, I can feel your energy, how it changed by being on this call. It feels more uplifted. And by it uplifting, it has helped uplift all of us also. And just like John's very rarely heard from, he's always here. So his energy is always present with us. And I thank you, Jeff, for doing this and making this a part of all of our lives. We have all of the souls on here are just very precious to me.
Well, thank you. And just so everyone knows, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. Um, you know whose idea this was for Shays Insights? I was trying to think of things, more things we could do. It was right here, your very own Debra. She's the one that said, why don't you do that? I said, yeah, let's try that, see what happens. So again, thank you all for being here. And I agree. I mean, each of us is a blessing to each other. I mean, all at the same time, it's just being here allows us to all work together and all grow and work on and just help clear things and connect while we're doing it. So until next month, just blessings, lights, and love. And maybe Deborah will be here then. No promises, but you never know. All right. So until next.
Got a bunny. You got a bunny, Lisa?
Oh, a bunny. Oh,
Aw,
bye, the
little
bunny. Oh, that's a cute bunny. I love the bunny. All right. Well,
Adorable.
thank you. That's a wonderful closing. And with that, blessings, light, and love, and we'll see you next month.
Bye.